Good morning and welcome to the Great Journey podcast. I'm here with Sensei Callahan, and today we are going to be discussing some wise words about character from some historical figures in the past that have exemplary character themselves. We're going to start with what Helen Keller said. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, Sensei?
Yeah. Well, um, we, we have the bad habit of wanting everything to be easy.
Yes.
And, and why should you work hard when you don't have to?
Mhm.
But the reality is that life is hard.
Mhm.
And if you approach yourself with the understanding that you are going to take on the difficult things, the hard things that are there in life,
Mhm.
and you're going to do that every day,
Mhm.
then little by little your strength builds up.
Yep.
And little by little you develop not only physically stronger but mentally and emotionally and spiritually stronger.
Mhm.
And that's where the strength of your character really starts to develop,
Right.
is through those daily habits and that willingness to take on the difficult things that you're going to be faced with.
Yeah.
So I think Helen Keller, in her quote there, she's talking about trial and suffering. So trial is going through a difficult time
Mhm.
where you've got a lot of stress on you, or you've got a lot of responsibilities that you have to carry out,
Mhm.
and it's going through that is how your character is going to be developed.
Right. It builds in that resilience,
Yeah.
which we've seen so much in the kids going through everything that is going on right now, just in our world and
Yeah.
the day to day. And, for kids who haven't been homeschooling
Yep.
for a year. Yeah.
Yep.
It has not been easy, but I think the outcome and the benefit will come to fruition in due time.
Yeah. Another way to bring that into a point of view is that is steel. Steel is a
Mhm.
good example of
Mhm.
that. So steel has to go through this process in which it's heated to a extremely high level, and all the impurities are burnt out of it,
Mhm.
and now it becomes hardened, and now it's extremely strong.
Right.
And that's the type of thing that we're really looking at doing, is
Yeah.
strengthening yourself at the core.
Absolutely. And next we have, you can test me on my Greek and Latin right now, but Heraclitus,
Yes.
yes, Greek philosopher,
Yes.
Okay.
There's an old Greek philosopher.
old Greek philosopher, said, good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. And I would say just
Yep.
in karate, like as you go through all the specific stances and the punches, and it's just little pieces at a time that
Yep.
build together an
Yep.
entire sequence.
Yes.
It's kind of, I can see how it's related. And
Yeah. Yeah. And if you look at what we do in the classroom on a daily basis, we're doing almost the same thing in every single class.
Mhm.
And what the instructor is doing is the instructor is going back to the beginning, the idea of the beginner's mind.
Mhm.
So you always start back at the beginning. You make sure that your most fundamental movements
Mhm.
are strong and in
Mhm.
place.
Mhm.
That means the development of specific muscles,
Mhm.
and then when you're certain of that, then you start adding on to that, and then adding to that, and adding to that. And when you get really advanced at this, you still do exactly the same thing. It's just that you start off, you find that beginning point, that 0 point, but then you're able to climb up much faster as
Right.
a result of it.
Right.
But you always start from zero. You
The
always start from the
foundation.
bedrock.
Yeah, which leads us right into the next quote, which is
Mhm.
anonymous, or we can't find who said it, but
Yeah.
that character is a habit-long practice.
Yes.
So essentially, no matter which belt you are, you're
Yep.
always starting
Yep.
at the base.
You're always starting at the base, and you're always building up. And those are where your habits are,
Mhm.
is right at the very beginning. And you have that habit of always starting at the beginning.
Right.
Um, um, because I've known a lot of people who didn't get very far in the art, and often what I saw them doing was I saw them wanting to skip over that and wanted to go past that and just go on to the good stuff and practice with the techniques that they thought were exciting. But they didn't take the time to make sure that their foundation was in place. They didn't do that on a daily basis. They weren't, and it takes a lot of humility to do that, because somebody who thinks of themselves as a highly accomplished athlete is going to have a hard time going all the way back to the beginning every single day.
Right.
But it's again, it's highly accomplished athletes that reach the top of their game. They get there because of their fundamentals, and every day they're going back and they're reestablishing their fundamentals.
Absolutely, just like in baseball. I mean, when anyone's on deck to go up to bat, they're practicing their swing, and then if you got the pitcher in the bullpen, he's got to be getting all of his techniques in a row and warmed up before he can just go and be as stellar as he is. And
Exactly.
definitely skipping ahead sets you up for injury. So if you think of it physically and emotionally, right? Okay. Also, character is the mark of who you are as a person.
Yes.
And we all want to be known as having good character.
Well, maybe not all of us.
That's true. I would hope so, but
The worst among us could care less.
That's true.
They could care less what other people think of them or whatever. And that idea of caring less about what other people think of you, that is important to some extent, is because if you're constantly worrying about what other people are going to think about you, then you can't really be yourself.
That's very true.
So you do have to do that. But I'm when I say the worst among us, these are people that are what would be the right way to phrase it? They are people who are just the worst of society. And they don't care but it goes to some aberration of some kind.
Right. But that's, starts with manners, right? Which we teach in class.
It does.
Yes. And the basic respect. It just starts at home, and it starts here. With our students that we train here.
Absolutely.
All right.
Good.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Hope you like that little tidbit from us today, and we will see you next time on the Great Journey podcast. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.